dear venerables, ladies and gentlemen, aspiring Bodhisattvas. Welcome to the collective chanting service conducted in English. And as many temples around the world hold regular services on the weekends, we use this time right after meditation to offer a few words of Dharma in hopes that at this moment when your body is mostly calm and collected, you will be able to take in those words and consider them in your own cultivation. So please continue to meditate and hear me out. As have said, we are here gathered together for the initial global chanting service procedure offered by Miao Guang, on top of the regular English chanting services offered at Xilai Temple. Let us first experience the power of collective cultivation, for us to feel that instead of practicing at home alone, when you're with your community, you might find it better, easier to focus. You might find it better to experience your faith and that religious sentiment as you sit here and practice all together. Therefore, it is our hope that in the future, as we continue to offer these English chanting services, not only at Xilai, but also in temples around the world, you will continue to benefit from the power of collective service. And today, in our simple English chanting procedure, we chanted the Heart Sutra. It is the shortest sutra of all Buddhist teachings, but it contains the greatest core and heart of the Buddha's wisdom, for us to realize that not only is it the core, but in our every practice, our every contemplation and every action, it all starts from the heart. And therefore, the Heart Sutra will serve as a compass for the mind, to help us navigate across our own minds in order to get to know it better, overcome its shortcomings, and then elevate itself so we are closer to the state of attainment. And so the story in the Heart Sutra goes as follows. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, one who is very close to Buddhahood, is contemplating deeply in the perfection of wisdom which he has attained. And within that attainment, we are looking through the eyes of an enlightened one to see what the world is like. And the Guan Yu Bodhisattva says, I am actually realizing emptiness on 3 levels. The first level is emptiness of the self. That's why Guan Yu Bodhisattva, when pausing in the deep Prajnaparamita, saw that the 5 skandhas were empty. And so by the 5 skandhas, we're looking at form, perception, volition, mental formation, and consciousness, which is the start of all of our senses of the self. From the moment when we allow our 6 sensory organs to come in contact with the world, our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. And then the object of these sensory organs will be our form, sight, smell, sound, taste, touch, and dharma. And then as they come together, we start to conceptualize in the process of cognizing the world, so that white becomes a concept, which sometimes symbolizes purity. And it could also symbolize other things, depending on our personal perceptions. And then as a result, we continue to follow our perceptions and conceptions, believing that, yes, that's our truest experience. Then as a result, all suffering and ills arise as a result of the self created in the form of the 5 skandhas. That being said, when Bodhisattva realized that the way to overcome it is for us to see the emptiness of all of these false conceptions. That is, you create all your thoughts and feelings, and it determines how you respond to the world. A few months ago, I was in Beijing, and our Beijing temple was a rectangular building that consisted of very long corridors. And at the end of the corridors were emergency exit lights that were green. So on my first night, after my classes, when I returned to my dormitory, as I walked toward my room, I couldn't help but feeling that there was somebody standing, staring at me on the other side of the corridor. So I turned around, and at the end of the dark green corridor, it seemed like there was a little girl standing there, and her skirt waving under the window of the air conditioning. I knew it was a little girl because I had seen her running around the corridor when I checked in earlier in the afternoon. And so I started to feel very spooky. I wondered why at 11 o'clock a little girl would be standing at the end of the corridor, doing nothing, standing still. Then I started to ask myself, why do I feel scared? Would this go against all my practices as a monastic? But nevertheless, I forced myself to walk towards my room without thinking too much. And I had a night's sleep with some questions. Then on the next morning, as I left my room and I looked down the corridor with sunlight, I laughed at myself. All along, what I had thought I had seen at the end of the corridor was actually a huge green plant that had a giant leaf that waved in the air of the air conditioning. So, when I perceived it as a strange young little girl standing there at midnight, it somehow gave rise to a sense of fear in my mind. So on that very same night, when I returned to my room, I no longer felt the fear. So therefore, it was a very nice experience for me to sense the emptiness of all my perceptions, because they will change. And when conditions disperse, what you feel to be real will no longer be there. And so that is on the first level of the emptiness of the self. For Guanyin Bodhisattva to realize that all suffering actually comes from the self. And then in the Heart Sutra, you will see Avalokitesvara goes on to realize that suffering, its cessation, its end, and its path are also empty. Added to the fact that the 12 links of dependent origination are also empty. And so this takes us to the second level of emptiness, when we learn to observe the fact that not only is the self empty, but all phenomena in this world are also empty. But when we fail to see that, suffering arises as a result of us really taking in the arising and the cessation of all dharmas. When happiness comes, we feel happy. When it goes, we feel unhappy. When our desires are fulfilled, we feel joyful. When the external condition acts against our will, we feel suffering. Therefore, when the Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara talks to us about the emptiness of all dharmas, it's like the prescription of a doctor that allows us to begin to put an end to the cycle of birth and death. We have to realize that when all dharmas are empty, then there's no point to label or to conceptualize any of these dharmas. Once there was a young lady who was about to go on holidays. And when she arrived at the airport lounge, she had a couple of hours before boarding time. So she found herself a spot in the very crowded lounge. And since it was holiday season, she was forced to share a table with another man who sat across from her. And she didn't mind because she was about to embark on a journey. So she sat down, she took out from her purse a book and a bag of her favorite chocolate chip cookies. She was about to enjoy it. So she opened her book, read through a few pages, and then after these few pages, she reached out to her bag of chocolate cookies and ate one. And quite interestingly, at the same time, the man sitting across from her also smiled at her, and without even saying a word, also reached out for a chocolate cookie. He simply helped himself with one without even asking politely. And so this caused the lady to feel a little uncomfortable. She wondered why the man would be so rude, so impolite, to just ask to take something that didn't belong to him. She was thinking, why is he eating out of my bag of chocolate cookies? But it's okay. I have plenty to share. I can withstand a moment of rudeness. So she went back to her book, continued to read for a couple of pages, then reached out for a second chocolate chip cookie. Funnily, the man also smiled at her again and helped himself to a second chocolate cookie quietly. This time she wasn't so accommodating. She started to feel agitated. She no longer was able to enjoy her favorite bag of chocolate cookie because all along she was wondering why this man was being so rude. So she pretended to go back to the book to be reading, but upon that moment she was no longer able to focus on the book anymore. All she was wondering is how she would put an end to this man's rude behavior. And so she reached out for the third cookie, and the man also did the same. And containing her anger, she pretended that she didn't care and continued to eat. So every time she reached out for a cookie, the man also did the same thing. Until came the moment when there was only one cookie left in the bag. So this moment, she turned to him, forced a smile, and looked at the man, thinking, now it's my last cookie. Would you at least have the courtesy to let me have it? But the man looked her back in the eyes, smiled, reached out for that last piece of cookie, broke it in half, and shared half with her. And as she was about to burst into anger, fortunately, call for boarding came, so she quickly packed out and boarded the plane, feeling very, very angry. And then when she finally sat down on the plane, she told herself, okay, I'm going on holidays. I shouldn't be angry and I shouldn't be affected by moments of this kind. So she told herself, okay, reset. I'm going to try to tell myself that I will enjoy the holidays. So let's go back to my book and get on with the journey. And what happened was when she opened her bag, when she took out her book, what she saw lying underneath the book was a bag of brand new, unopened chocolate chip cookies. So what happened? All along, she had been eating out of a stranger's bag of cookies, who was very polite and kind to share with her even till the last piece. So the moral of the story is to tell us that when we set out to enjoy or to define something that should be pleasant, in most cases we're already labeling these phenomena. And when it goes against our wishes, then the label quickly changes. But the problem is, the chocolate cookie itself had never changed. It's just as crispy, crunchy, and delicious. So why has she stopped enjoying it? Because it was all in the mind when she had failed to observe the dharmas clearly. And so this teaches us to slowly come close to the emptiness of the dharma, to realize that they all come and go. So there's no need to hold on to any of them. And this is the second level of the Prajnaparamita Sutra. And then finally, Avalokitesvara comes to a state where the sutra says, ultimately there is no wisdom, and therefore there's nothing to attain. And so this takes us to the third level of the emptiness, of the concept of emptiness itself. This teaches us suffering will still arise as a result of our understanding and knowledge, even if that knowledge is supposed to be beneficial, because all along we are still clinging onto conceptions. So a bodhisattva's attainment and liberation comes from his or her ability to see beyond the need to cling onto even any concepts, to simply let them come and go. And so coming across these three levels of emptiness, the Heart Sutra teaches us, ultimately, By understanding emptiness on these levels, our goal is to overcome all ills and suffering. And therefore, at the end of the Heart Sutra, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhisattva, which means gone, gone, gone beyond. Go far to the shore beyond and find your attainment. And therefore, I feel that this falls well with our understanding and studies of the Diamond Sutra today. Prajna wisdom comes in our ability to remain flexible and open to all possibilities in spite of the changing world. And the test is how we are able to remain who we are, to uncover that Buddha nature in the face of all challenges and the changing world. So best wishes to all of you. May you continue to progress towards paramita, the far shore of enlightenment and liberation. Thank you for your attention and listening.